She was the haunting voice behind one of the most unforgettable moments in cinema history, a voice that made audiences cry without even understanding the words. And now, that voice has been silenced forever. The world is mourning the unexpected loss of Rebekah Del Rio, the cult icon who gave us Llorando in Mulholland Drive, and whose ethereal voice cut through illusion, pain, and performance. At just 57 years old, Rebekah passed away in her home, and the tributes pouring in show just how deeply her artistry touched the soul of Hollywood and beyond. But her story, her rise, and the mystery behind her most iconic scene go much deeper than most realize. Born with a voice destined to shake hearts, Rebekah Del Rio was more than just a singer. She was a spiritual experience. Hailing from San Diego, her Mexican-American heritage infused her vocals with raw passion and emotional depth. From an early age, Rebekah was drawn to the art of classical vocal training, but leaned heavily into the emotional rhythms of rancheras, boleros, and soul ballads. Her path wasn't traditional. She didn't explode onto the pop charts or ride a wave of commercial stardom. Instead, she quietly etched her name into film history by doing something very few artists have accomplished, creating a cinematic moment so powerful it lingers in the minds of anyone who's ever seen it. That moment? Mulholland Drive's chilling Club Silencio scene. On June 23, 2025, Rebekah Del Rio was found dead in her home. Her nephew Dan Coronado confirmed the heartbreaking news via Facebook. His tribute painted a picture of a woman full of love, talent, and generosity. Just days before her passing, she had spent Father's Day surrounded by family, singing her heart out one last time. Unbeknownst to her, that moment was secretly recorded by her nephew, who described the experience as a final gift. Her most famous song is Llorando, he wrote, which is after Roy Orbison's Crying, which I'm doing right now as I type this out. Since the announcement of her death, the outpouring of grief from fans and fellow artists has been massive. Director David Lynch has yet to release an official statement, but close collaborators say he's devastated. Film critics, actors, and music lovers across platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube are sharing their own personal memories of hearing Llorando for the first time, some remembering how they broke into tears, others noting how they were mesmerized by her stage presence and vocal purity. Film and music forums exploded with tributes, calling her performance in Mulholland Drive one of the greatest uses of music in film history. Even Billie Eilish reposted a clip of the iconic scene, writing, "She made pain sound like poetry." What many don't know is that Rebekah Del Rio almost didn't end up in Mulholland Drive. She had been introduced to David Lynch through mutual friends and only later auditioned for the part. The performance wasn't originally part of the film's vision, but when Lynch heard her sing, everything changed. Llorando wasn't just a soundtrack piece. It became a plot device, a metaphor, a truth in the midst of illusion. Even more amazing, she sang it live on set. In an interview with IndieWire, Rebekah once shared that she couldn't lip sync properly, so she insisted on singing every take. That's not typical in Hollywood. Most singers record their vocals in a studio and fake the rest. But Rebekah, she felt every note, and that's what made her unforgettable. Film scholars and vocal coaches have long studied that Club Silencio scene, and many agree that Rebekah Del Rio's raw live performance added an unrepeatable texture to the scene. A USC cinema professor once said, "Del Rio's vibrato told more of the story than the script ever could." Meanwhile, music industry experts described her as a vocalist's vocalist, someone who sacrificed mainstream popularity to remain true to a deeper emotional language. Rebekah Del Rio may not have had a chart-topping album, but her legacy might just outlast many who did. She became a muse to David Lynch, a symbol of raw authenticity in an industry that often rewards surface over soul. From Mulholland Drive to Twin Peaks, The Return, to her role in Lynch's Rabbit series, she carved out a place in the hearts of cinephiles and music lovers who prefer their art with a side of mystery. Her death is a loss not just to music, but to the very spirit of independent, emotionally driven cinema. For fans of Mulholland Drive, it's as if part of the illusion has finally cracked, and behind it, there's only silence. Rebekah's death is reminiscent of the sudden loss of Jeff Buckley, another artist whose voice was often described as otherworldly. Like Buckley, Rebekah had a way of making you feel something primal, almost spiritual. They didn't need flashing lights or backup dancers, just a spotlight and a soul. As we say goodbye to Rebekah Del Rio, we're reminded that sometimes the quietest voices leave the loudest echoes. Her rendition illusion of Llorando may have been in a fictional nightclub with no band, but it was real. Real emotion, real heartbreak, real magic. What was your first reaction the moment you heard Rebekah's voice in Mulholland Drive? Or maybe you've just discovered her today. What does her performance make you feel? Let's honor her by keeping the conversation alive. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Rest in peace, Rebekah. The illusion may be gone, but your voice will echo forever.
Subscribe for more interesting videos and hit the like button.